If your vision doesn't scare you, it isn't big enough. Welcome to day 225 of our Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge. Today, all this month, we're focusing on spirituality and how does it impact our business? What is the spirit of our business? What is the spiritual component of our business? Why do we exist? What's our purpose? What's our mission? What's our vision, right? So today, in both the Supersize You Annual Challenge and the Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge, we're talking about vision and having faith in something that we're creating, even though we can't necessarily see it yet. Now, I don't usually say can't, but we can't see the future. We can imagine the future and create that future and take actions to create the future we want to see, but we don't have, future vision glasses that we could slip on and know, okay, if I just do this, this, and this, everything will work out awesomely. That's what the Supersize Your Business School is for, to help us come together and help one another create the vision and the desire and the dreams and the faith and the belief that we can create whatever business that we want. So what about this whole idea of faith and spirit of our business? The truth is, sometimes we can't see what we want. Sometimes we get blocked. Sometimes we focus on the wrong things. Why? Because we're human. And as humans, we need a reminder that the spiritual truth is that we have to trust that life is going to happen in our favor and that it's going to play out the way we want it to, or maybe not exactly the way we want it to. Anxiety comes from thinking that we have to control everything. I think delusion comes from believing that we can control hardly anything. If we realize how much of our life and how much are the things that happen to us and through us and for us are actually out of our control, then we can attract them to us by thinking about them and creating the environment and the situations that create the outcomes that we want. That's how we rig the game in our favor, right? But we can't always control it. We can't control the timing always. We can't control what's going to happen when. We can't control who is or isn't going to come into our life. But can we? I think that we can in some instances. I challenge you today to look back at a painful moment in creating your business. Now, I love the people that tell me everything has always gone swimmingly and they've never had a problem or a challenge. They've never wanted to quit. They've never been disillusioned with something in their business. They've never thought something should be going faster. They never felt overwhelmed or burned out or anything. God bless you, because most business owners, the ones that stick, the ones that stay, the ones that don't quit, it's a journey, and it isn't a straight line journey from where you are to where you want to be. It is a bumpy road up and down. Maybe because I expected it to be. That's what some people probably would tell me. Well, you expected it to be hard. You expected it to be a bumpy road. I, like everybody else, started out with a dream thinking I can create this business and it's going to be easy. But if we tell ourselves that, every little hiccup is going to make us upset, and we're going to focus on that instead of focusing on, all right, well, here's a problem. Guess what? Every day there's a problem in our business, right? That's what we are as business owners, as problem solvers. And so if I adopt the philosophy, and I adopted it a long time ago, hey, I'm going to figure it out. I always figure things out. Sometimes they're harder than others, but I always find a solution. There's always a way. Anything is possible, and I'm going to figure it out. I get a lot less stressed than back in the day when I would doubt and fret and worry and not know if things were going to work out or not. The universe really is rigged in our favor, so why not live that way, live as such, and not get bent out of shape out of every little bump in the road along the way. So today I challenge you to look at a painful situation that happened and find one that the outcome was better than you could have ever imagined. I have so many of those in my life. So many stories, so many business related stories, so many non-business related stories that prove that to be true in my life. If it's true in my life, I pretty much guarantee it's true in your life as well. We just have to believe it and have faith in that it is true. And that's part of the spirit of our business. Ask yourself some questions. Do I trust that life is unfolding as it should? Do I trust that life is rigged in my favor? Do I believe that it's rigged in my favor? One of my core beliefs is I believe that life is rigged in my favor. I believe that I'm here on a journey with a big mission and a big vision, and only I can make that a reality, right? Now, we don't do it alone, but I have to first decide that I'm going to make that the reality that is my life. And you have to do the same thing. You decided to have your own business. You decided to take a leap of faith that 3% of the population will never even attempt, much less figure it out and make it successful. So today, again, share in the comments below one lesson that you've learned from a painful experience. You don't have to give us all the details. You don't have to write a book. Just a sentence about the lesson that you learned. What is the biggest lesson you've learned from an experience in your past, a painful experience in your past? I have so many. I mean, it's kind of scary. I realized and found out that getting fired for a job that you didn't deserve to be fired from isn't going to kill you. And actually, if you look at it, it got you out of a situation that wasn't right for you in the first place. At least that's been my experience. So that's my lesson learned. Being fired from a job is not the end of the world, and it isn't going to kill you, right? It's just not going to. Unless you don't handle it properly, right? That's where we take back our personal power and we have personal control, and we can decide how things are going to work out for us. All right. If I can help in any way, reach out and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Don't forget to hop onto the school platform, Supersize Your Business Community. That's where we talk about topics like this and all sorts of business-related topics to help you grow and scale and supersize your business. We're working on a cool project right now, a collab project and book by business owners for business owners to help them scale and really see, and that's why I love the community, really see what building a business is like, not what you think it should be like, not what your coaches and mentors tell you it should be like, not anything except what's inside of you that you decide what it should be like for you. All right, have an awesome day. I'll be with you tomorrow.